Dear boomers, allow your hands to act as a divine channel. Those are words that were spoken by Paramahansa Yogananda, whom I have been quoting the last few days. What if every action you took, every touch, every movement was infused with divine energy? What if your hands were not just tools, but channels for something greater? Today we'll explore these profound teachings by Paramahansa Yogananda. Allow your hands to work as a divine channel. This isn't just about physical labor. It's about how we show up in the world, how we serve, how we heal, and how we bring love into everything we do. Cool. Yogananda was born in 1893 and passed on in 1952, 1 year after my birth. He was one of the most influential spiritual teachers of the 20th century. He was born Mukunda, Lal Gnosh in India and displayed a deep spiritual awareness from a very early age. Yes, I did name one of my dogs Mukunda. As a child, he was deeply drawn to spirituality and sought out great saints and yogis in India. He became a disciple of Swami Sri Yukteswar, who prepared him for his life's mission, which was bringing yoga to the West. Now, Paramahansa Yogananda didn't want to do that because he wanted to sit at the feet of his guru. But sometimes we have to do things that call us to a higher mission. And that was what Yogananda had to do. In 1920, Yogananda arrived in the United States and introduced the world to Kriya Yoga, an ancient meditation technique that accelerates spiritual growth and which you can access through self-realization fellowship. First of all, you have to go through a series of lessons before they will allow you to get involved with Kriya Yoga. Now, I back in the early 90s, I got whooping cough, and I was very, very ill. And so I was so ill that I could feel the life force leaving me. I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep for days until I did find that I had whooping cough, and I was then I stayed home for a few days. Hey, Pearly girl. She's just trying to help me with my video. Anyway, in the throes of that illness, I received something in the mail which I had never received before, but it was an invitation to do these lessons by Paramahansa Yogananda, who was not new to me. As I might have mentioned, my mother was deeply into him, and it was hard for a child to grasp what it was she was talking about, as I mentioned in yesterday's video. But because of my mom's influence and because I was so ill, I decided to go for this, and I did. Now, his impact through the autobiography of a yogi, the book that is the spiritual classic of all time, he met with notable figures, including Mahatma Gandhi, Luther Burbank, and even Calvin Coolidge, a presidential guy. He spoke about the unity of all religions and the power of service as a path to enlightenment. Yogananda taught that work should not just be about making money or gaining status. He believed our hands and our actions are vessels of divine energy, and if used with the right intention, he encouraged people to see all work as sacred, whether sweeping a floor, running a business, doing the dishes, planting a garden, or writing a book. It doesn't really matter what it is. Everything is a sacred act. Yogananda believed that every moment of work is an opportunity to bring more light into the world, whether we're cooking or writing or caregiving or simply offering a kind touch or a smile. And that is what in those acts, we are transmitting divine energy. The philosophy behind the quote, allow your hands as to work as divine channels, means that our actions should be infused with consciousness, love, and service. Instead of seeing work as a burden, we can see it as an act of devotion, a meditation in motion. So what that means is that we don't have to just sit and meditate. Every act, every breath, every movement, every feeling of gratitude is a meditation. Every pause we make throughout the day, every breath, conscious breath we make into the heart and into the head, into the third eye, and down through the body is a sacred act. And it's meditation in emotion. So we can look at nursing as an act of compassion, healing with compassion. And I know that was my mission for many years. I saw my patients as an opportunity to be an angel of mercy. I wanted to help them as much as I could. And instead of feeling overwhelmed, I paused before each patient and silently blessed them. And before I would go to see them, that is what I would do. And this small act transformed my work from routine medical care into a sacred practice of healing. And then there's the artist. A painter once said, when I paint, I feel like something greater is moving through me, through my arms, through my hands, with the paintbrush. Vincent van Gogh, Leonardo da Vinci, or any modern creative often feel that they are channeling something beyond themselves. There's the chef who loves to cook, cooking with love. In Japan, there's a philosophy of shakunin, meaning mastering a craft not for personal gain, but for the benefit of everybody else. As a sushi chef prepares each piece of food with full attention and reverence. When you go into a sushi restaurant and you see the cook behind the glass, that is exactly what you see. You see that person is creating a sushi meal with great devotion, intention, focus. They turn each meal that they create into a spiritual experience. A grandmother teaching her grandchild to bake is not just making cookies, she is passing down wisdom, creating memories, and she is infusing love into every step. And the retiree who mentors others, a retired professional who volunteers to teach young entrepreneurs, is not just giving business advice, he or she is sharing decades of wisdom, empowering the next generation. So when we shift our mindset, any work, no matter how small, when we shift our mindset into embodiment, who we are, what we have to offer, it becomes a form of spiritual service. Even answering an email with patience, putting love into it, sending healing love to whoever you are writing to, it becomes a form of spiritual service. Even answering an email or answering a telephone call, and you have that aura of patience and kindness transforms it into something so much larger than what we have ever experienced before. So this is the way we can bring divine consciousness into every action. First of all, we have to pause before each task and set an intention. And in this way, whatever it is that we're about to do does not become a rote or unconscious action. Breathe deeply and remind yourself this is an offering, not just a task. Focus completely on the moment, always. Express gratitude for the opportunities to serve through work, and imagine in Reiki and energy healing, Hands are used to transmit energy and restore balance. Simply placing a hand on a friend's shoulder with love can be profoundly healing. And then we have Thich Nhat Hanh, who was a Vietnamese Buddhist monk. He recently passed away within the last year or so. He was very much into living in the present moment, so thoroughly. His teachings, just listening to him or reading his books, suddenly you are transported into wanting to live in the present moment yourself. This Zen master taught that even washing dishes can be a meditation. If we are fully present, even simple actions become acts of devotion. There are people who talk about, let's just take a musician as an example. They talk about praying before playing, allowing their hands to channel divine energy. Or a caregiver shares how seeing their work as sacred changed their relationship with their patients or the person they are caring for, a family member. And an entrepreneur explains how infusing spirituality into business made it more fulfilling and perhaps more profitable. So using your hands, you need to energize them. Sometimes this works. Close your eyes, rub your hands together, and feel that warmth and that energy. Hold them in front of yourself and say, "May these hands bring love, healing, and service to the world." And place your hands on your heart and take 3 deep breaths. And you can ask your journal, how can I use my hands as divine channels today? May your hands be blessed. May your work be sacred. May you always be a channel for love. There's going to be a video that shows up here. Like, subscribe, and check that little notification bell so you can keep in my little circle here as we go into the next days, the next week.